Welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss about container class. So how we are going to use this container class and what are the properties that available in this container class will be discussed in this class. And what's the use of this container class and how we are going to use this container class in Flutter in our Android application development will be discussed in our coming classes. We will do one main project, one important project about container in the coming classes. Now come to this, see, we are having container class. So what is this container class? What we are going to do this container class? When you go into the documentation of container class, see here, in the documentation, you know how to open the documentation from our previous classes. That's why we are not showing directly how to open the container class documentation. Directly we are showing the constructor of the container. This is the container constructor. In this we are having multiple properties. Based on the properties, in this class we are going to understand alignment property. Then we are going to discuss few decoration properties and color property. Then double width and double height property. Then we are going to discuss about padding property and margin property. These are the properties which we are going to discuss, and some important properties about container will be discussed in our next class. Now coming to that, first you need to understand double width, double height. So width and height are two properties. What are the data types for this width and height? You need to provide the double value that is taken in the name of pixels. Let's check that code. See here, we have created we already know that material app scaffold. In that we are having app bar, and in the body of the scaffold we are going to create a container. The output has been shown here on the right hand side. This is how the container looks like. In this container, the first property we are using width 300 pixels. Next, height 300 pixels, and in the decoration we will come to this decoration again, box decoration of colors dot deep purple. This is the color we assign for the container. So this is the container. This is how it looks like. So the width is 300 and height is 300. If you want to assign the width that is exactly matched to the parent widget. What is the parent widget here? In the scaffold, in the body, we are creating a container. So what's the parent for container? Body of the scaffold. So if the width has to be fixed exactly to the body of the parent, what is the parent here? Body of the scaffold. If you want to fix that, then you need to mention like this. This is how you have to mention. Double dot infinity. Then it is going to fix that the width will be assigned exactly to the parent length, parent width. So that's why we use here double dot infinity. For now we don't want the complete length, we are giving 300. So width 300 comma. So if you execute this, width is 300. See, our width reduced to 300 pixels. So hope you understand what's the use of width and height. Now coming to the next one. See, this container class contains one important one, widget, child property. What is the type of this child property? Widget. You can assign any widget. So which widget we are going to assign here? Text widget. In our coding we are going to assign text widget. See here, in the code we are going to assign text widget. We already defined the code for reducing the length of the video. You type the code. That's the best way to learn the concept. See, this child property is going to take a widget. Text is a default constructor, contains constant value. So that's why const text of, what's the value we have provided here? Hello world. And we already know the style property from text class. Previously we already discussed about text class. So inside this text, style is a property, hello world is the syntax, the string that has to be displayed on the for the text. So let's check what happened if you provide the child widget. Inside this container, we had this hello world. Text has been displayed. You can assign only one child in this container. So the only child we assigned here is text child. That is why inside this container we had a text called hello world. Now coming to the next property, alignment property. See here in the documentation, the alignment property. Here alignment means child alignment. Inside the container we had a child. How the child has to be aligned, that mentioned by using a align property. So what's the class that what's the type that align property is? Alignment geometry. Go inside this. Let's check the documentation. Alignment geometry is a abstract class, base class for alignment class. See, alignment class is going to inherit alignment geometry abstract class. So when you go inside this alignment, this is how the documentation look. Alignment by default 0 0 0 0 comma 0. See, the constructor for alignment is alignment double x double y. You need to provide two double values. What's those double values? We need to understand. This is the properties of x coordinate, y coordinate. These double values are x coordinate, y coordinate, represents the center of the rectangle. See here in our output, the center of the rectangle, this cursor is going to show here. This is what we call it as center of the rectangle. Whatever the container we created, in that's the center. This point is considered as 0 0, and from here it is going to create a two-dimensional coordinate system. And this top left point is called as -1 -1. See, not like that, it is going to check like this. See here, the distance from -1 to +1 is the distance from one side of the rectangle to the other side of the rectangle. Means whatever the box we created, this left side point we call it as -1 and this point we call it as +1. In between, what's the distance? Two distance, like that. -1, top is the -1 and bottom is the +1, and the width height we call it as 2 units. This is how it is going to divide. Your box is divided as in the two-dimensional coordinate system. Top is -1 point, bottom is +1 point. Same way, left is -1 point, right is +1 point. So if you want to align your child in the container based on these values, you need to align. Let's check what happened if you give -1 -1. Alignment of -1 -1. What is -1? Top. What is -1? Left. -1 -1 means this is the point. So the text has aligned exactly on the top left side. Similarly, if you want to assign on the +1 -1, remove this. See what happens, how it moved to our content has been moved to the right hand side, top right hand side. Similarly, if you assign -1 1, where it has to move? It has to move down. Similarly, if you assign 0 0, it will go to the center of the box container. So this is how you can give alignment for our child widget, and we can give alignment in not only like this, you can have some constants here. Okay, using these directions we can assign the -1 +1 like that. You can assign the text alignment. This is how we are going to align this. See here, some constants are there. Bottom center, alignment dot bottom center. It is going to give you using the directions or using this constant. These are the basic constants available. Top right means -1, top right means 1 minus 1, top left means -1 minus 1. Or you can assign one more thing. What's the use of this coordinate system? You need to understand. If you give as -1, 0.5, we don't have this value in the constants where it comes. This is how we are going to align our using this coordinate system, or you go by constants. Both the ways you can assign. See, the second option is also provided here, alignment dot bottom left. Instead of this coordinate system, you can give that. Now coming to the next option. Which option we are going to explain? The next one is in the container class, padding option. So we have this padding option, edge insets geometry. That is the base class for padding. Go inside this edge insert geometry class. This is an abstract class, and this abstract class is inherited by edge insets class. Now go inside this class. What happened? We are going to check the documentation. See, constant edge insets dot all of means all the sides. You can assign. What is meant by padding? So if you want to assign some space inside the container, we use padding. By looking at the output, you are going to understand there are multiple constructors available here. Edge insets dot all. This is one constructor, and see here, you can assign individually edge insets dot from left, top, right, bottom. So each individually you can assign left side padding, top side padding, downside padding, right side padding, and bottom side padding. Different values. If you want to assign different values, you have to go with this constructor, edge insets dot from left, top, right, bottom. First, let's check the output for all. Edge insets dot all of double value. What is meant by padding? You are going to understand here. See, we are going to make this as -1 and -1 for better understanding of padding. -1. Now, see on the top. Now we are going to add padding. Edge insets dot all of 8 pixels padding has been provided. So inside the container, it is going to provide 8 pixels gap on all the directions because we assigned all the directions. See 8 pixels, it's not visible for you. You make it as 20 pixels for better understanding. You are going to look at the padding 20.0. So here it is going to assign some space. See, hello world has been moved to the right side because on all the directions, on the top it has provided some gap, on the left it has provided some gap, on the right it is going to provide some gap but it is not visible, on the bottom it is going to provide some gap. How much gap it is going to provide? 20 pixels. So whatever the value mentioned here, that is the gap it is going to provide. That is what the padding means. Suppose if you want to assign padding on the outside of the container, means outside of the container, see what is there outside the container? This container is provided inside the body of the scaffold. So if you want to give margin means it is going to provide gap on the outside of the container. Let's check what happens if you provide margin for all. Same ways, edge insets dot all of 8 pixels. You don't give 8 pixels, 12 pixels for better visualization. When you mention like this, see here what happened. See, there is a gap on the left side. The same way on the top there is a gap of 12 pixels. On the right side also it is going to provide some gap, 12 pixels here. On the bottom it is going to provide 12 pixels. So margin is to give gap to assign some space on the outside the box. Padding is to provide space on the inside of the box, inside the container. Similarly, we are providing all. Instead of this, if you use the constructor edge insects dot from LTBR, that's the constructor, you can individually assign the space left side, top side. Suppose if you want to give left side 12 pixels, on the top you want to provide 20 pixels, on the right side you want to provide 15 pixels, like that. If you want to provide different values, then go with the other constructor. Like that, we are having multiple constructors here. You please check the remaining one. It's very simple to understand the remaining one. So this is what about padding and margin. Now coming to the another property which mostly used, decoration property. So we need to learn a lot on this decoration property. In this class, we are going to discuss few properties about decoration. This decoration property contains a class called decoration class, means the type of this decoration property is decoration. Go inside this decoration. Let's check the document. This is an abstract class, and this abstract class is inherited by box decoration. Go inside this box decoration. See, now check the constructor. What are the properties that available? See, if you need to understand this, this is how you have to learn. You are going to understand why this is very important to learn like this. When you do the projects in our coming classes, we are going to assign one project for this. There you are going to understand what's the use of this method of learning. In this box decoration, we are having different properties. Color property. Color is going to use the color class. We already know about color class, how to assign colors in multiple ways. We already discussed in our previous classes. So now coming to this color class, see, decoration, box decoration of, we are creating constructor. Box decoration means we are creating an object and passing the parameters colors dot deep purple. That's why the color of this is purple. And the next properties which we are going to understand here, box border. You can assign box border. Go inside this box border. So this class is an abstract class, and this class is extending this border. Inside this border, all the borders, if you want to assign border dot all of, this is the constructor of a border class. You can assign width. How many properties are there here? Width property, color property. So what's the color of the border and what's the width of the border? This is one constructor. Like this, we are having multiple constructors here. See, border dot, you can assign individually on the top, individually on the right, individually on the bottom, on the left. Different border colors can be assigned using this border side. You go inside this border side, you are going to understand. It's very simple. If you are following our previous classes, it is very simple to understand, because simply it is going to assign some color. Each border can be assigned a different color if you go inside this border side class. We are using border dot all of. You can assign width and color. All the borders are going to give us a same color. And what is this border style? All these things will be discussed in our coming classes. As of now, border style means solid. These are also you can explore this. These are very simple to understand. In our coming class, we are going to understand a very important points. So we go with that in the next class. As of now, these are the properties we are going to use. We are going to use color and width. Let's check the code. See, in the color, in the box decoration, the property border property, I am going to use box border dot all of colors comma width. See, color is color dot red, width 5. We are choosing fluorescent colors in order to have a good visualization. That's why we are going to choose that. You change according to your See, the border has been obtained. If you change the width of the border to 5 to 10, you are going to get it as thick. Border style property means you can give a solid border. You explore them, border style property. And what's the next property which we are going to use here? Border radius. Now go and check the documentation of border radius. In the box decoration, not in the box decoration. See here, box decoration, inside this, see, border radius. See, border radius is of type border radius geometry. Go inside this. This is an abstract class and this is followed by border radius. Go inside this. Now, if you want to assign border radius on all sides, you can individually assign using this constructor, horizontal, left and right side. If you want to go for circular, this is another way. And if you want to go for border radius dot only, left side, right side, on all the sides individually you can mention the border radius. Now let's try to understand. You can explore these different constructors. We are going to use border radius dot all of. Let's understand what is this radius. See, this is of radius class. Go inside this radius. Radius dot circular of. Different border radiuses have been assigned. This is one of the constructor. Radius dot circular of double value. Radius dot elliptical of double. Two values has been assigned. So you can give border radius in two ways, circular and elliptical. We are going to show you what is meant by circular. You change the elliptical way. What is meant by border radius? See, this is what border radius. Here it is going to give you a circular effect on the edges. Here on the edges it is going to give you a circular effect. So border radius geometry dot all of radius dot circular of 75. See what happens. See, the circular effect has been provided. If you reduce this 75 to 50, what happens? The radius has been reduced. Like this, you can go with the elliptical also. So you keeps on exploring the remaining things, and in our coming class, we are going to discuss one important. We are going with two different properties that are very important in order to make the styling of this container and to provide a 3D effect and to provide the shadow of the box shadow and some 3D effect. You are going to provide that on this box. These properties we are going to discuss in our coming class. Hope you understand these basic properties that are available on the container. If you have any questions regarding the concept, please post your questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates.